What's going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today we have a new knife here to check out, and this is coming in from Tuya Knife. This is something I picked up off their website. While we're getting into this, let us know down in the comments what your EDC is for today, and I will link Tuya's website down in the description of this video if this looks interesting, and or if you want to just go over and browse their site. They have a lot of really cool knives over there, and they are so there's a branch of Tuya that is in the United States, and that is run by Dave Warren, a fantastic gentleman over there. He is a knife guy through and through. He has his own designs through Tuya. Now, this particular one is called the Tuya Wolf, and there's a lot of things about this knife that are really exciting. We're going to cover all of those here in a moment, but we are looking at the Tuya Wolf. The retail price of this knife is going to be coming in at $179, and we're going to be getting quite a bit here for our money. There are at least 6 different variations of the Tuya Wolf here. Now, some of those may be out of stock. It depends on when you're going to see this, but there are at least 6 different variations of this knife. Now, we'll start with the tip and work our way back here. We are looking at a two-tone satin blade here. This is coming in M390. We have a recurve harpoon clip point tanto blade here, and this thing is insane looking. We have this really nice and beautiful belt satin on the primary, the top swedge, and the secondary here. But then on this flat, we have this really, really nice hand satin, and that is going to give this a very nice look. The harpoon, the blade shape, period, is going to give this thing a nice look, but that two-tone satin really sets this thing off. We have a nice little sharpening choil area there. I don't know if I'd classify that much as a finger choil per se, but you could choke up in there. I wouldn't call it a finger choil though. One thing I will say is I was not expecting this knife to be as healthy as it is. And what I mean by that is we have semi-contoured handles here, which we're going to talk about in a moment. A nice thick piece of titanium here for our back spacer, along with our actual interior of the frame is going to be titanium. And then we have a really nice titanium pocket clip here. And to set this thing completely off, this is a G-Carta material. So it's a I believe USA made product here as far as the handle scales go. So it's going to be a micarta that is basically polished as far as I know, it's a paper micarta G-Carta. So I believe that's USA made. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong down there. And it's some really nice looking stuff. They're able to get a lot of different colors out of this. They have blue, green, red, this kind of natural or burnt orange look. Really cool looking stuff. And this knife really fills out the hand. We're going to check the size here in a moment. We have great access to the lock bar there with a nice chamfer. Closing action, beautiful. The detent on this thing is absolutely money as well. Thumb studs are placed nicely away from the handle, so you can get up underneath of them, or you can come up from the side as well. The studs have a nice stepping to them. We are looking at 1, 2, 3 steps, so a nice little triple set of steps on the top there, and that is done well. It's not going to be slippery. It's going to grip the thumb or the middle finger. Ooh, that's got a stiffy, guys. That's a stiffy detent. You're gonna have to, at least on this one, put a little oomph into it. I went to lackadaisically kick this thing out, and no, that's not the case. You're gonna have to fire this bad boy out there. So let's see what kind of size we are looking at with the Tuya Wolf. Get our tape measure out here, and we're looking at 3.5 inches of cutting edge, 3 3/4 inches of total blade, And this is going to be coming down there at 8 3/8 overall, so considerably a full-size knife. We have a couple of comparisons here to put this in perspective. We have the Spyderco Parrot 3 up top there and the Kaiser Drop Bear down here on the bottom. And you'll see this knife is quite a bit longer than both of those, and it's going to be a lot thicker in the hand. And we'll bring out a couple of larger knives. We have the Vosteed Raccoon Bowie up top here, and we have the full-size budget Kaiser Militao on the bottom. And it is going to be the Wolf that is even bigger than the Militao. It's going to be a little longer, and it's going to be much more substantial in the hand. We'll see what this thing looks like in the pocket here with our Issuing Stitches cloth. Check retention, and very good over that that first initial ramp. Very nice. And that flares up there at the tip. So that's going to be nice to get over pocket seams and so on. Little bit poking out here like a standard milled clip, maybe a little bit more than a standard milled clip, and that is done intentionally, entirely intentional. And this is going to be a right hand carry only. That'll be a nice area there, though, to grab a hold of this thing and pull it out of the pocket. And very nice retention on the way out. We'll go ahead and get a weight on this fella. And this one might be trouble, actually, as far as the weight goes. And guessing the weight, I should say. Man. I want to say this is up at, I don't know, guys. I might be off my game a little bit. Let's say 5'3". Let's go 4'9". Oh, okay. Good thing I dropped it down. Wow, it's only 4.2. That's not bad at all for what that feels like. And not that I'm not saying that it's heavy in a bad way. It feels really good. It has some heft to it. It fills out the hand very nicely. If you have a little bit larger hands, going to fill out the hand nicely. It's tall, it's thicker. Man, I can't believe they got away with 4.2 on this thing. That is pretty impressive. I thought much more. 4.3, 4.2, and then coming in there right at 124 grams. That's one of the worst guesses that I've had in quite some time, being off 0.6 or 7 or whatever I was off. We'll get a handle thickness here. 0.5 and under, I would say that's acceptable, but anything over that, you can make fun of me all you want. 0.6 for that handle thickness, but if anyone has one of these, it has some heft to it, but 4.2, 4.3, that's not bad at all. That's a good weight. As far as our blade stock, we're looking at 123. So a nice healthy stock, but that is certainly going to thin up here out towards the tip. Yeah, it's out towards the tip. You're thinning out 60, probably down into 50 thousandths up towards that tip. We'll check this area here and just get a rough idea of what the edge is coming in at behind the edge. And wow, coming down there around 19 thousandths or so, 19, 20 thousandths in that particular spot with that particular hold. And we'll see how this thing cuts out of the box. We'll start out with our telephone book paper here, and we'll check this primary edge and see what we're looking at. And I did want to bring up, I brought this up before, and I don't think I have it in here with me. That edge is nice and sharp as I mess it up. Check that secondary edge. I think it's sharp. I'm just not getting a very good hold on it. Let's get a new piece. I'm hoping the post office has more because I'm about to be out. Yeah, it's got a nice edge on it. It's kind of tough to cut with those secondary edges on a Tanto like that, like this. But yeah, it's got a nice edge on it. Yeah, I'm a little off my game. As far as the HRC is going to go with the M390, I believe on their uncoded stuff, they run 60 to 62. And it might be even it might be a little higher, but I think it's at least 60 to 62 the last I knew or had talked with Dave about. So going to be good to go on the M390. What's crazy is we're talking well under 200 bucks. These come in at 179, and you're going to get M390 with a beautiful finish. They didn't whiff or put out something subpar. They put out a beautiful satin. And then we have G Carta, and then we have titanium here, all the way around for a $180. That's pretty damn good. And Tuya has, since I have figured out Tuya existed about 2 years ago now, they have always had really good pricing, and for what you spend, you're going to get your money's worth from them. Lock bar relief cut is internal, which is really cool. It keeps this entire thing looking very, very clean. I know that I haven't seen any videos or anything on this, but I know there's quite a few people out there that have one of these that are extremely happy with the knife. Last thing we are going to check here is going to be our lockup, and it is looking pretty good. I'd say about 30%. As I said earlier, very easy to get into that lock bar, disengage this thing. Closing action is beautiful. If you like a little bit stronger detent, this might be a nice model for you. And the other thing I was going to bring up was I am, a basic novice sharpener or edge honing, whatever you want to say, sharpening, stropping, just getting an edge back on a knife. I would call myself, a beginner. And a lot of people see things about recurves, and with the right implements, something like this is not going to be a big deal, especially if you have like a ceramic. Say you have the $20 or $30 Work Sharp field sharpener that has ceramic rods on it and stuff. You that's what I use, and that thing will hone the hell out of this area here. So that's what I've done with the recurves that I have and enjoy in order to just kind of keep this area touched up. And it hasn't been a problem for me at all. And I suck at, that type of thing. So what I'm saying is, I think anyone with a little bit of know-how and willingness, if you like the look of a recurve, as long as it's not insanely extreme, and even those, with a ceramic rod, you can take care of business. But especially something like this, couple passes on that ceramic rod, and you're going to be back in business really quickly. So I have not been as afraid to check out, pick up a recurve. I think this is the second recurve I've picked up in the last couple of weeks, actually. So I'm certainly not shying away from them. But yeah, I like this blade a lot. Let's go ahead and we'll check this lock up here. Certainly no detent lash, no movement in there. Let's go ahead and give this thing a couple of taps. out towards the tip there. Sounds really good. Yeah, she's good. Very good. Run this thing through our normal checks here and make sure everything is good to go. No detent lash, no pivot lash, no movement, and our action still beautiful. Nice detent. Damn, that's got a good detent. Whoo! And you can just hear it pop. Listen to it click closed. Whoo! Yeah, this thing's a beast. I like it. And when I saw the price of it, because I bought this a while ago. I guess it's been a couple weeks since I bought this. I bought this several weeks ago, and, you know, it took me a little bit to get to it. But, man, glad I picked it up for sure. There's lots of cool colors on there. This kind of has that wood look to it almost, but there's much more options when it comes to the micartas. I think there's 6 or 7, like I said. You guys will have to let me know. What do you think of the Tuya Wolf here? Love hearing from you guys. If you have any other Tuya knives and would care to share what you think about them down in the comments, I would look forward to hearing from you as well. I think this will be like the 4th or 5th Tuya that I've bought. So, you know, big fan of what Tuya and Dave are doing over there. He's out of California. Fantastic dude, company, and knives, and the pricing is just really, really damn good for what you're getting here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new to the channel here and you enjoy this type of content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release daily videos just like this. I'll put up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I love you all, and I will catch you on the next one.